What's up, guys? Nuance Bro checking in, and today we're going to be talking about Chris Cuomo and how he recently freaked out on someone who called him Fredo. Now, if you don't know, Chris Cuomo is an anchor on CNN, and a clip recently surfaced of him freaking out on someone who called him Fredo in public while he was out with his family. Now, this footage was retrieved by a YouTuber by the name of That's the Point, and it was exclusively given to him, so I want to give him credit for that. And let's take a look at the clip.
I thought that's who you were.
No, punk-ass bitches from the right call me Fredo. My name is Chris Cuomo. I'm an anchor on CNN. Fredo is from The Godfather. He was that weak brother.
Isn't that your
And
brother?
they use it as an Italian aspersion. Any of you Italian? Are you Italian? It's a fucking insult to your people. It's an insult to your fucking people. It's like the N-word for us.
Wow.
Is that a cool fucking thing?
You're a much more reasonable guy in person than you seem to be on television.
Yeah, but if you want to play, then we'll fucking play. If you've got something you want to say about what I do on television, then say it. But don't call me a
Hey,
fucking
man,
insult.
hey, listen.
What?
I don't want any problems.
Yeah, you're going to have a big fucking problem.
What's the
It's
problem?
a little different on TV. Don't fucking insult me like that.
I didn't insult you.
The fuck you call me Fredo? It's like I call you punk bitch. You like that? You want that to be your nickname?
I didn't call you that.
You called me Fredo. You know my name's not fucking Fredo.
I thought your name was.
You did not think my name was fucking Fredo. Don't be a liar.
I thought your
You
name
want to be a
was.
man, stand up like a man.
I'm standing up, man.
You want to be a man, I'm
Yeah,
here.
I'm standing
Then
up.
fucking own it. Then own what you
Listen,
said.
man, hey.
Then own what you said.
Listen,
Take
man,
him-
I don't
yeah,
have
what?
a problem with you, man.
Yeah, you're gonna have a fucking problem.
What? What are you going to do about it?
I'll fucking ruin
Do
your
something
shit.
then.
I'll
Do
fucking
something.
throw you down these stairs like a fucking punk.
Please do.
Why? So
Come on,
you
you
can
don't wanna
fucking
do
sue?
that. You don't
So
wanna
you
do
can
that.
fucking sue?
Well, why don't you do it
Go
then?
take a swing. You want to call me Fredo? Take a fucking swing.
I'm not gonna swing
Take
at
a
you.
fucking
I'm
swing.
not gonna
Watch your
swing.
fucking hands.
I'm not gonna
Take a
swing.
swing. Watch your
Hey,
fucking
I'm not
hands.
gonna
Take a
swing.
swing. No, come on, boy. Come on, boy. So you want to call me shit? Call me shit then.
Hey, listen, man,
I'm right
I'm not
fucking
doing
here.
anything.
I'll fucking wreck your shit. I'll fucking wreck your shit.
Stop.
You didn't know what you were doing when
I
you
thought
called
it
me
was your
Fredo?
name,
You
man.
didn't know.
I thought it was your name.
You didn't know, right? Hey, you didn't know what you were saying, right?
I thought it was his name.
I'm
breaking it up. I'm breaking it up. This is my
Hey,
buddy.
hey, look at all these cameras. You're in for it. You're in for it.
in for what?
You're
You
in
call me
for it.
fucking Fredo?
You're in for it.
You call me Fredo?
Now, I gotta say, when I initially saw this clip, I was almost kind of siding with Cuomo in a sense, and in a way I still kind of do. I mean, he's out with his family, someone comes up and decides to say something that he perceives as rude to him, so he gets in his face and decides to say that, you know, I'm not gonna stand up for this, I'm gonna stand up in front of my family and say, hey, don't call me that, don't be disrespectful, just because I'm some guy you see on TV doesn't mean you get to be an asshole to me. But upon watching it just a little bit more, I noticed that he decided to go this sort of weird quasi SJW route where he equated being called Fredo with the N-word. He tried to paint someone calling him Fredo, which is a reference to The Godfather, when Fredo is the stupid brother in the family, but he tried to turn that into an ethnic slur, as if he's calling him Fredo because Cuomo's Italian. Now, this is obviously ridiculous for a whole host of reasons, but nobody uses Fredo as a slur against Italian and Americans. And I just want to go through a few examples of other outlets or other people who have used this term very frequently in the political lexicon. So as you can see here in a tweet from Vanity Fair in January of this year, another reminder that everyone connected to the Trump administration is an absolute Fredo. Here in a tweet from Joe Scarborough of MSNBC from February of this year, in response to Donald Trump Jr., said, "Hey Fredo, I think you might want to worry less about lying about me and more about the lies you have told Congress and Bob Mueller's focus on your lying." In fact, one person who really uses this term quite a lot is Chris Matthews over at MSNBC, as you can see in this clip.
Like inviting the son, Fredo-like son of the president, to a meeting to give him dirt on his father's opponent in a way that a child would accept that. Anyone else would say, wait a minute, I'm not going to a meeting with the Russians to find out dirt on my opponent. This just looks like a honey trap or something here.
Well, and this clip.
Other concerns related to Trump's son-in-law are his involvement in a Trump Tower meeting with Russian lawyer and two unreported transition meetings with the Russian ambassador and the head of the Russian state-owned bank. Congresswoman, I don't know what to say here, except anybody who's seen The Godfather is seeing Fredo here being manipulated by, you know, the guy out west.
And this clip.
Sam, do you think this guy could have stood up to Trump?
Oh, to say the least. It's
I
just,
mean, could he? Is it about being Fredo, or is it about what? Is it personal weakness, or is it institutional
okay, well,
weakness?
let's
In fact, he uses it quite a lot. I mean, here's just a sample. I'm not even including all the clips that he's used it in, but you can see from this Twitter thread here that he really does use it quite a lot. I mean, this is just a sample of the times he's used it. But to be fair, none of these examples have ever been on Cuomo's show or Cuomo saying it himself, so I guess you can't really judge. Oh, wait.
Daddy kept Fredo back home, so who cares what Donald Trump Jr. says? Who cares what Donald Trump Jr. says?
All right,
I
you know what?
I don't want to talk about
Anna, you
that
said-
entitled
but Anna,
little brat.
So that was actually an example of Anna Navarro using the term on Cuomo's own program. And as you can see, Cuomo didn't make any big deal about it. He didn't come up and say, how dare you say that? That's the N-word for Italians. That's an offensive slur. Don't use that on my network. He didn't say anything about it. So it seems like in the moment he was just kind of embellishing. That's being quite generous, but he basically made it up. But I'll do you one better, because that was just a guest on his show and maybe he wasn't paying attention or he didn't hear them right. Surely Cuomo would never use this term himself.
There's a group of people, of politicos, who always hint that they might run but don't necessarily plunge all the way, and they are members of La Cuomo Nostra.
So who am I then, Fredo?
Yes, exactly. So you better be careful that your brother Andrew doesn't kiss you on both cheeks and then all of a sudden they take you out into the middle of the lake and then, where's Chris?
It really is amazing what can happen within 24 hours. I mean, people just dig up all the clips they can find, and there you have it, a clip of Chris Cuomo himself using that term, referencing himself. Now, the weird thing is, this isn't the first time Chris Cuomo has made this sort of weird comparison, saying a term is equivalent to the N-word, like some nonsense, weird term is equivalent to the N-word. In fact, here's a clip of him saying that the term fake news is the equivalent of the N-word for journalists.
This is a distraction. The only thing that's bothersome about it is that I see being called fake news as the equivalent of the N-word for journalists, the equivalent of calling an Italian any of the ugly words that people have for that ethnicity. That's what fake news is to a journalist.
Now, that was back in 2017, and he actually had to come out and apologize on Twitter, as you can see here. I was wrong. Calling a journalist fake, nothing compared to the pain of a racial slur. I should not have said it. I apologize. So this comparing other terms to the N-word is actually something Cuomo has had to apologize for before in the past. And now he's doing it again, where he's comparing being called a fictional character from The Godfather, the equivalent of a ethnic slur against Italians. I mean, pretty sure that caught everybody by surprise, because I don't think I know anybody, or almost anybody else knows anybody, who's ever used the term Fredo as an ethnic slur against Italians. Now, while Cuomo didn't come out and apologize yet about the whole, calling Fredo the equivalent of the N-word, kind of like he apologized for the whole fake news N-word thing in the past, he has come out and tweeted this. Appreciate all the support, but truth is, I should be better than the guys baiting me. This happens all the time these days, often in front of my family. But there is a lesson. No need to add to the ugliness. I should be better than what I oppose. Now, I'm not going to lie. I actually liked the version of Cuomo in that video better than the version of himself that he plays on TV. I mean, the version that he plays on TV is just so over-the-top fake, has nothing to do with who he is in real life. It's just such a fake personality, and it's just really off-putting to me. So it was kind of nice to see the real Cuomo come out in person and kind of stand up like a normal person would if he was called out in front of his family, by just some random guy. It was kind of nice to see that. The part I object to is him saying that Fredo is an ethnic slur against Italians and it's like the N-word and stuff. And that was just kind of stupid in my opinion, but I thought it was nice to see the real Cuomo as opposed to the fake Cuomo he plays on TV. And honestly, this story really shouldn't be that big of a deal. I just thought I'd bring it up because I thought it was a funny story. I thought the whole references to Fredo that I showed you earlier on in this video by other anchors, by Cuomo himself, by Cuomo's guests. I thought that was kind of funny. So I decided to do this video kind of quickly. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know what you thought down in the comments below. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Social media links are in the description box below, as well as merch. And I'll see you next time, bro.